Hello and welcome to Charmed Persons. We are back once again with the Alien campaign. Season 1, Episode 4. Before we dive into that, we are going to do, excuse me, business at the top as usual. So, our upcoming week is once again a lighter week. So we're gonna go through next Friday. But first, this coming Monday, tune in for Talk With Me, supposedly the biggest and best episode of theirs yet, and maybe ever. So tune in for that. And then, during all these crazy kids, and Zach, who's not able to join us tonight, but will be back next Friday for the finale of this Alien season. Not the finale of the campaign. We'll be back at it at some point. But for the finale of this specific season, you won't want to miss it if I do say so myself. So, with that being said, we'll do a quick recap of last week's session. We started it with seeing once again the gruesome death of one of your fellow crew members. As you were exploring Hadley's Hope, Caden unfortunately died, and you all ran from this alien that had suddenly appeared, seemingly out of nowhere, and attacked you. Some barely escaping with your life. Caden, not so much doing that. But you did escape, and what took probably the majority, 3/4 of the session, was less than like a minute of game time. So, not a lot of time in world actually passed for that moment. So, there's not a lot of recap for that. So, instead, I'm going to share some fun statistics from that battle. Clarke, you Clarke failed one mobility, panicked and failed the panic once, did some damage to the alien, and pushed one roll. Sasha was pretty successful with mobility, was also successful with keeping it together for a single panic roll, did extra damage to this alien, pushed a roll twice, and stopped a fellow character's panic once. Kit, extra successful with your mobility checks. You were running all over the place, jumping over rubble, being crazy. But you kept it together twice for your panic rolls, but the other 2 out of 4 panic rolls that you did have to do, you did freeze and you did drop an item. Charlotte, you had 1 success and 1 failure on mobility, so agile and then not so much, maybe your age showing a little bit, but you did manage to keep it together on the single panic roll that you had. Finally, Hawk, who's not with us, but can't miss his statistics because they are probably the craziest of everyone's, is that he was also successful with mobility, but he did a panic roll twice, failed both of them to freeze and have a nervous twitch. He pushed only one roll, but he also increased the stress of everyone around him twice while doing so. But as I said, despite that or with all of that, you managed to escape the alien and get everybody back to the ship. Once on the ship, tensions rose and stress levels were still high as you got out of there as quickly as you can. Hawk, unfortunately, once again, having his stress and panic get the best of him, he was not able to pilot the ship up, and away, and Nico took over and did a very cool maneuver to get everyone out back into space. And once in the quiet of space, and probably only a couple beats of silence, that led to Hawk getting up and pulling out a gun and pointing it at Gaius. Gaius seemed to keep his cool, standing up and pushing back on Hawk, who then fled the room after lots of frustration shown, which once again caused you all to panic. Some of you kept it together, some of you had a reaction to that panic roll, but that's where we're going to pick up. So we last had uh, Charlotte and Clarke. For your last panic roll, you were able to keep it together. You were both on the bridge, watching pretty much everyone else around you panic. Sasha, you froze in place, unsure of what to do. And Kit, decide, beside, despite being paralyzed, you let out a guttural scream for your dad. Charlie is still on the bridge with you, keeping it together as well. The commander, rather aggressively, took Gaius out of the bridge and away somewhere, and Nico followed Hawk close behind. And in the quiet of space and on this ship, with only a low hum of the ship around you, what do you all do after what you have all witnessed? If it's nothing, that is very valid as an answer of how to deal with this situation. You do have a couple moments before the commander returns, but you have a couple moments just you all and Charlie on the ship current on the ship's bridge currently.
Okay, things are getting like increasingly fucked. Um, I gotta take care of Kit. Clarke, would you help me carry them?
Sure. Yep.
Charlie, you can come too if you want.
Yeah, definitely. You go to pick up Kit,
Mhm.
and exit the bridge, and you currently find the door not opening behind you or in front of you, as it
Ooh.
usually does automatically.
Oh,
For the more common areas, they'll open automatically, or you'll have to put a keypad for the secure areas. This one does not open automatically, and you hear Mother's voice come over the intercom and say, Commander Finnick has asked that you all remain on the bridge until she returns.
Mother, this is a medical emergency. We need to get to the med pods. Please
For
authorize.
Kit's vitals are currently stable. Medical emergency protocol not activated.
Let me just help me lay her out over here.
Yep.
You find a decent area, likely across some of the chairs that you use to strap in. That's not just putting her up onto a table or a desk or anything that has a little cushion on it. Um, and you start examining her, I assume. You can tell that she is, again, paralyzed, but not completely without any movement. She can somewhat speak. It is very garbled and mumbled. So not a lot of articulation there. She can move her eyes, and she can kind of like twitch her fingers and toes, basically. But for the most part, she is
Oh,
completely paralyzed. And with your medical knowledge, general paralytics just kind of have to get out of the system. There's not really something you can always do to help the situation. The only thing that can accelerate that would be something like a shot of adrenaline that kind of like kickstarts it and gets the blood flowing a bit quicker to start clearing out the toxins.
yeah, I think like knowing that like we're coming off the heels of a panic moment too, that like Kit's last act in the last game was to scream in this like paralyzed state.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like checking like those things, probably seeing like the eyes are like
Oh yeah.
like people's dilated, and just being like, hey, it's gonna be okay. We're back. I think you're gonna be fine. Once we get out of this lockdown, I'm gonna get you to the med pods. And I'm gonna try to like use that moment to like stop panic, knowing that like we're not in combat. So like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Definitely. And mechanics wise, also, good thing to know at this moment, your stress level can be reduced. It can be reduced by once per day interacting with your special object that you've had and you put on your character sheets, or spending 5 to 10 minutes of true rest. So that means no rolls, no anything. Like you were just basically calming yourself down or helping to calm someone else down if you don't want to roll for an actual calming of a panic.
I
So
think.
we'll
Mhm.
go ahead.
Oh, I think at this point, Clarke is going to turn to Dr. Green. What do you know? Do you know anything about what we just saw? What was that thing?
I'd say Dr. Green is kind of like avoiding eye contact, just in like the state of like shock that she's in.
Yeah.
Kind of like kneeling on her, like sitting down, but elbows on knees, kind of like hunched over, staring at the ground. I have no idea what that is. I've never seen that before in my life. I have no idea what we're working with here.
Do you know what was in the box that we picked up? Do you have any other, at this point, anything?
I wish that I did. I truly wish that I did. I tried to get into the box and it wouldn't open, so I have no idea what's in there. But after what just happened, I can only imagine it can't be good. Maybe having this door closed right now is the safest thing for us. I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's safer in here or safer out there. Um,
Right.
okay. What do we do?
Mother, is there any way we can get Kit to the med bay? Any way, Mother?
At this time, you hear the door open and you see Nico and the commander walk back into the onto the bridge, door closing behind her. Um, Nico comes and sits next to Kit, um, on one of the chairs that's near you as you're laying down. As the commander stands mostly still by the entry door, she looks more shaken than you've ever seen her. And you see a mix of guilt, fear, anger. She's feeling a lot of things, and at this point, her usual stoic demeanor is cracking, and you're getting a glimpse into her true feelings, which is startling to say the least based on your experience with her to this point. And she looks at all of you and says, "For the time being, Hawk is confined to his quarters. There will be no contact with him, and he is not allowed to leave without my specific supervision. The same goes for Gaius. He is confined to my quarters, and he is not allowed to leave without my supervision." Yes, Kit?
Were you saying that Nico looks scared or the commander looks scared?
I mean, Nico looks visibly upset, but I was describing the commander.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
All good.
Commander, what was that thing?
I truly wish I had more information to give you about that, and I don't. And I am truly sorry for what happened. I take full responsibility as your commander. It is my job to keep my crew safe, and I have failed you. And I know tensions are high, and I know you have a lot of questions. I might not be the one that you want to talk to right now, but. And Charlie stands up and interrupts her
Oh,
and says, Commander, can I, speak with you privately for a moment? She nods, and the two of them walk towards the very front of the ship and start having a whispered conversation. After a moment, they call Nico over and continue a whispered conversation.
This is the worst thing that could ever happen to me, Angie.
During this conversation, Kit, the way that you are positioned, you're able to see them, and Charlie has a look of determination on his face that you don't see, especially not as often in the last couple of years. And Kit, nope, and Nico, good God.
We're the same.
And
All
Nico
lesbians.
keeps glancing over at you pretty frequently as they're having this whispered conversation.
In like a cute way or like concerned?
A concerned way
Ugh.
in this moment. After a couple minutes, they all come back and rejoin you all. And the commander once again addresses you all and says, "It has been asked, and I have granted the request that we return for Caden's body.
Commander.
Charlie has a plan. I will not let a single foot of my crew touch the surface of that planet. But Charlie has a plan with one of the pressure pods that is made for search and rescue to retrieve his body safely. We will return just high enough just below the atmosphere to allow the pressure pod to be released safely. Nico will get us down. Clarke, you will go with Charlie to ensure extra protection just in case. And Sasha, I would like you to attend to Kit as needed and then meet us also down by the loading bay when you are ready. Again, to be as near as possible in case anything should happen. I have told Charlie, and I stand by it, I will abort this mission if anything is seen on the surface of that planet or anything starts to go awry. But I do agree that if there is a way, we should try to get Caden back on the ship before we leave." Well, Clarke, if you can join Charlie and I, we'll head to the dock now. Sasha, please join when you're able.
Okay.
They head down, taking Clarke with them. The door to the bridge remains open after they leave.
I would, with the opportunity to do so, take Kit to mid-bay.
Definitely. Before Nico starts whatever she needs to do, and I'm sure the doctor might join you as well, but she would help you carry Kit to the vent bay, set up whatever you need to set up. Four of you likely staying together for this moment. And then once she's in position, Nico will head back to the bridge to start taking the ship down. You can feel the ship start moving, but so not everyone has to be strapped in and do all of that. She basically takes a very slow descent back to the planet to allow for being up and moving around the ship and not having any danger to that. So you can feel the ship moving, but you're not concerned about that. And Nico's back on the bridge, leaving the three of you in the med bay.
Do you know if there's anything we can do? The doctor will say to. Oh my god! Hello, sorry, my brain. To Sophie's character, Sasha. Thank you.
I mean, it's diagnosing is hard when we don't even know what the organism was.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna do some tests, some scans. It seems like she's already getting like sensation back in her limbs, but I don't know how long this is gonna last.
Right. I wish there was a way for us to figure out what it was, and I feel like the answer is in that box. I just don't know how to get it open, and I'm wary to do so.
I
Maybe once we get Callum's body back. Caden, hi. I'm sorry. Here I am.
The man died.
Maybe. maybe was Cal. I think. Oh, no. Okay. I think once we get Caden's body back, maybe there will be some answers in there. I don't know. You know, what I can do is I can run some test samples of DNA, some science jargon about something that she can do
Sure.
to decipher any answers.
I would say with this specifically, since you don't have the only way to like study this toxin is to study the blood that the toxin is currently in. So you would have to draw blood from Kit, take it to the science lab, and put it under a microscope.
Okay, I think maybe she'll do that. She'll suggest that, yeah, to Sasha.
Yeah, a blood draw makes sense. I think I was going to take some for the diagnostics, but
Right.
if you find anything, just let's share information. Yeah.
Absolutely. You run it on your end, I'll run it on mine. And I think she'll.
Is it milk, JMO? Is there blood milk? Are they the robot?
No! Oh my god.
As you go, presumably before to put Kit into the med pod, which basically is that enclosed thing that can do so many different things. You take a needle to draw some of Kit's blood, and it is red. She's human.
I wouldn't think a paralytic would work on a robot,
Gosh,
but
you
I need.
guys! That's bad!
It could have been like an off switch. Like maybe it pressed an off switch. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I'm
it
really
just
good
was
at her.
acting. Who knows?
It could have been.
Like,
What other paralyzed people can talk and all that? I guess.
Depends on the
I don't know.
really
I don't
pretending.
understand the body. Never mind.
But you're able to draw some blood. You get like the kind of classic little doctor's vial of it. Well, I should say Sasha is able to draw some blood with ease. Gives it to you, and you're welcome to go to the med lab or the science lab to start your own tests. As Sasha, you set up the med pod to do kind of a full diagnostic of basically going through kind of probably most of its capabilities of x-ray scans, drawing blood, all of the things. And through all of that, you can tell that the technology itself is confused because it cannot identify the toxin. It has no data about it. It can give you a reading that like there is no current response to the muscles, blood is still flowing. It basically says in scientific or in medical terms, this person is paralyzed from an unknown substance in their bloodstream, but it cannot identify what. It can only recommend, if this is a paralytic, something to work its way through the body and out faster would be helpful. So again, something like even hydration and some extra electrolytes to start working through some of that, and then adrenaline as well to get the heart pumping quicker to get fresh stuff out.
I would message Hawk on the pad.
Okay.
And would say, since you're grounded, here's a catch up on the situation. Kit still unwell, but seems to be recovering. I would give him a lowdown of a quick briefing of what the plan is.
Okay.
Also we're going back to the planet to pick up Caden's body, and I would say I don't like this.
Sure.
That's all that I would send in that message. I would send a message to Charlie and be like, "Kid in med pod. I think she's gonna be okay." That's
You get an immediate response from Charlie that says, "Thank you. Keep her safe. Give her a hug for me." You don't receive anything from Hawk. Dr. Green, as you start doing the science-y tests, similar to the technology, you can tell there are certain aspects of this substance that you can see in Kit's blood that you know to be alien, you know to be not something that you have studied before. Um, you know to be still, though, in some way similar to more animalistic toxins that you can find in the more natural world or on Earth, um, but different enough that you know that this is, as you saw it, you know it's something you've never seen before, and it also has its own powers, basically, that are unknown to you and likely unknown to a lot of people. Seeing as this was kind of your realm of study, and you are continually surprised by what you've been finding.
Great. Yeah, okay.
About this time, Nico also comes back to the medical bay to kind of check on things. Basically, has put the ship on autopilot to head down to the planet again. Those in the loading dock, so Clarke, you are, as you're there, briefed on basically the capabilities of this thing that you're about to go into. It is under the ship, so you can kind of get a little visual, but it's basically again, looks new, looks very fancy, looks very expensive, but looks very versatile as well, as it is something that you can use for mining, search and rescue. So it can be very strong and destroying, or very delicate and precise for more of the rescue mission side of things. So you find basically Charlie asks you to help construct basically a sling that they can move the body onto and then pick up with this machine itself, all with very tiny little robot arms, basically, that this thing has that can do all of that while staying in the air, while neither of you have to actually touch the ground. Um, all of that kind of stuff. So you spend most of the time just kind of going over things, asking questions. The commander is with you, listening intently on all that is happening. But once the briefing is over, she leaves you to it to wait with Charlie until you're closer to the surface, which probably at the slower descent will take a good 20 to 30 minutes. Um, so by now it's probably 10-15 minutes left till you're back on the surface. But Commander says she's going to head to the bridge as you guys suit up, just in case. The pod itself is pressurized, but you have your suits and your helmets just in case there's any breach of that. And you, of course, can grab whatever from the armory you so choose. I think everything made it back either on someone's person or around. So even if they haven't been returned, you can know where Sasha dropped that flamethrower and grab it, or grab the one that Gaius had as you return to the ship, things like that.
Cool. Yes, I definitely was making a point to grab a flamethrower since that seems to be the thing that worked the best. Um, so this pot, like, are the weapons even helpful in this? It's like a pod at the bottom of the ship that we can see through and control the little arms.
It is like a detachable.
It's a detachable thing that we're
Yes.
getting into and then we're
Right.
going out
Yes.
in. Great.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool.
It is a smaller vessel that flies.
That like comes out. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it like hovers along the ground, so it can kind of be dumped out and then like hover.
Right.
So like in space, it can fly like a tiny little spaceship
Right.
can with
Okay.
pneumatics and stuff, and then there's enough pressure that it can kind of blast out, that lets it hover about 10 feet off the ground once it's actually on a surface.
Great. Cool. 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 And I think at this point, Clarke turns to Charlie and is like, "What is the? Why do we need this body?"
Um, well, I don't want to leave him here. I don't want to leave him for more of those things to find him. I don't want to leave him away from his family, and I think he deserves that.
But he's dead. So you're going to risk our lives and everyone else's lives to make sure.
I was planning on only risking mine, and then the commander kind of insisted that you all also come.
But we're keeping the ship here longer. We're keeping your sister, who could need help. We're staying here longer. I just want to make sure you know what we're risking, and there's not anything else.
I think if it was my sister down there, I would want someone to bring her back.
Okay? You're not wrong. But it's risky.
Get it done as quick as we can. Get us out of here.
Okay?
You know what you're doing with this thing, kid?
Sasha, have you gone down to the docking bay, or are you still in the med lab?
Is that not me talking to them? Sorry.
No, I mean, if you wanted to.
I guess I thought that we were gathering there, but if you were
We had
jumping
split.
location,
I mean, either way, you
Never
could
mind.
have definitely gone down there. Or, oops, my radio's been on this whole time. Let me turn it off.
Go down there. Find Clarke.
Fuck. No. I think like I would stay with Kit
Okay.
as long as like I could. Just like even just like kind of holding their hand and like checking their pulse. I think like knowing that they're being scanned and like monitored and stuff like that, but like doing like an old fashioned like monitoring of like keeping myself busy almost.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
is kind of where I'm at. Like I think if I had the time, like in this like quiet, vulnerable moment, knowing that Kit's there, like I would take like on a chain that's around my neck, my signature special item, like is like the first vial of like HRT, and like hold that while I'm like sitting there with her, just like it's been a long road. A really long way. To get home. And I know why your brother's going back for the body, taking us back for this body, but there's part of me that feels like it's ripping itself apart. Going back for even a second. You're okay. I hope you make it back with me. Because I know I'm going to. And then kind of just like stay quiet and until like basically the last possible moment that I have to like go down to the dock.
Definitely. You get a quick release of a level of stress from interacting with your object, and then I would say everybody also has at least 5 to 10 minutes to kind of have as you're finishing the descent to like kind of take a moment and just kind of wait and be in whatever state of mind you need to reduce that stress. So everybody's stress goes down by at least one. Kit, you're included in that.
Mm.
Um, Again, you can still hear, you're still aware of things. You're just not quite able to respond with more than just a single sound or eye movement. Sasha, would you have given anything to Kit to try to expedite the process or let it run its course and not try to mess with it?
Yeah, I know that you said that like an EpiPen or adrenaline
Yep.
would potentially speed up the process. I do also know that Kit was one of the more stressed ones of us out there,
That is true.
and I think that like that stimulant, and this is my knowledge of it in real life, not necessarily how it affects players in game, but I think it adds to your stress from my memory of last season.
It does.
And so I think I would avoid that unless it was necessary. So I don't think I would administer it knowing that like Kit was at like a 6 or a 7, I feel like. So
Okay.
letting her rest and letting this happen like as it needs to,
Sure.
like
Okay.
feels like the way to go.
Makes sense. I would say with kind of the readouts that you have on the machine and your knowledge, you get a sense. It's really a guess that on its own, this paralytic could probably be out of her system within maybe up to like 36 hours. If you gave her something to help, it could be as quick as 24, just for reference. And that's like full repair of everything. So mechanically, you're still paralyzed, but as kind of the hours pass, Kit will be able to like move a little bit, but it'll be like your mobility is at a -3, and then it'll be a -2, and then so on and so forth as you're slowly recovering, pretty much based on that timeline.
Let's say assumptively knowing that like in game the mechanics are it's like 10 15 minutes I think like to like reduce the level of stress.
Yeah.
So given that it would probably be an hour before her stress would naturally kind of like drop to 0, I think like because how much time were we basically from like it was like a half hour.
Yeah, we'll say it's about a half hour before we're like ready. Everyone's like in this pressure pod or like waiting to see what happens. So you get about half that time. Well, I would say probably you only get like 20 minutes of that time to actually rest because you're moving and you're doing the scans on her and stuff like that. So, so yeah, I would say if you want to spend the 20 minutes, again, everyone can probably reduce stress by 2. If you think that you would be kind of doing other things and not quite resting just yet until the very end, then only 1.
Yeah, I think definitely I would. No, I would be monitoring and almost like stressed by like this process and this decision, and like going very quickly from like no, I don't need to do anything to like all of a sudden somebody's died and now there's somebody who's paralyzed on the ship.
Yep.
So I think like I would look to Kit and like I can see because are their eyes moving like at this point in time like Hey, if you can hear me, blink twice. Okay, wow, okay. Hi. Scary, I know. I think you're gonna be fine. Um, this is probably gonna be you for a bit though, like, unless I like give you something, but looking at the scans, like your heart rate is insane, even for somebody who's paralyzed. So like this, if I gave you something, it's gonna have you a little jumpy for a minute. Do you, do you do you want the thing? Do you want the kick? Blink twice for yes. Oh no, Angie's froze. No. Oh, that was one long blink.
I was
Okay.
just closing
Yeah.
my eyes because
Yeah.
Kit is scared.
Scared. Okay. Hey, that's okay. I fully up to you. I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go try to keep Charlie and everybody else safe. I'll be back. And I'll check in on you then. It's gonna be okay.
Safe.
Safe. Yeah.
Safe.
Aww.
Okay. Don't you move. Just a little joke. All right.
Ah.
All right,
And
about
that's
this
like,
time, Nico actually comes in and says, "We're ready. I'll sit with her while you do what you got to do. I'm just hovering at this point, so autopilot can handle that.
yeah. If there are any updates, radio me.
Definitely.
Cool. I guess here we go.
Go down to the dock and join Clarke. Dr. Green, where are you while this is happening? Are you just on the bridge watching with the commander? Are you in the science lab trying to do other things?
Megan really wants to get that freaking box open somehow. But okay. I think that she'll be on the bridge with the commander, kind of watching everything. I guess kind of at the ready to support down yonder when if needed.
Sure.
She just kind of wants to have all eyes in the sky kind of a thing, so she knows where she can be helpful.
Definitely. You see the commander where she normally is kind of by her command station with all of the screens kind of coming from the suit cameras that are currently on and activated. So you can see one for the three that are currently down there. And I would say when it comes down to it, Sasha, you are given the option of either joining them in the pod or just remaining on the dock at the ready for your choice and what you feel the safest doing.
I think I'm torn, like in this moment, like as a support, like medic, to be with the team is the best thing for them, but for myself and my selfish needs, I'm going to stay on loading dock.
Okay. So you see the two
I've got
cameras.
like a pulse rifle still, and like my med kit, and like I'm ready to go, but
yeah. Very fair.
I think Clarke would also have been like, you've got to stay for everyone else. And I think Clarke would want to find a moment in here to pull Sasha aside and be like, if anything happens to us, I don't know what's going on with Hawk. I think you are the best person to trust right now. But you need to promise me that you will get us everyone out of here if we don't come back on that shuttle.
Just come back. Let's not worry about it.
You've got to promise.
Marine, I promise.
Thank you. Okay.
Now kiss. All right, so Charlie and Clarke get into the pressure pod. You, Sasha, are also suited up, just because the dock will have to be opened, and in case there is also a quick arrival with things and not time to pressurize and all of that. Better just to be in your suit for safety. So Charlotte, you see the screens set up, and start to watch as they make their descent. And like I said, what you see is, instead of watching the screens, the commander is at the front watching the colony and just like almost face pushed against the glass to look down on the colony itself. Um, Basically, just presumably looking for movement and all of that, and more focused on what is happening around them and keeping an eye out for that than what is actually happening on the screens themselves. This little mission probably takes an hour, so by then, a lot of your those on the mission, your stress probably could be alleviated by at least 6. This is to say, as long as you're not feeling the stress or doing anything in this moment as well, that again, I'm going to leave up to you guys to have the agency and how your character feels in this situation. Kit specifically, I mean, you can't do much, so even if your mind's a little crazy, I think you will relieve some level of stress just by your body not doing anything and starting to realize it can get rid of the toxins and just kind of naturally relieving some level of stress. Again, not all of it if you don't think Kit would. Um, I would say during this whole time, Nico does have a moment with you, um, and comes and sits sits next to you. Um, she takes your hand and seems to be worried and struggling to say something. So there's a couple moments of silence. Um, and she finally turns to you and tries to make eye contact as you're in the pod and says, "Before he was quarantined, I did have a moment with Hawk. He asked me to kind of pass along that he's sorry. Specifically sorry that he fucked everything up. Seemed like not the time to try to argue with him in that moment, but I'm passing it along for him. Uh, I realize you can't respond right now, and maybe I should have waited a little bit before trying to."
Is is thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I think I like twitch my hand like in her hand
Mm-hmm.
to just like give the semblance that I'm squeezing it.
Sure.
But I can't. It goes like backwards. Like it flexes. It
Just-
doesn't like squeeze. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that like I close my eyes in embarrassment for a minute. Like fuck.
That's the one word you can actually get out clearly.
Fuck.
um, she gives you a gentle squeeze back and giggles a little bit, and um
Who's
and
my friend?
and gets up and brings. Um, she's gone for a couple minutes, and then she comes back and she has like a little hydration something, like little pouch, and she found a straw. Basically, like slashed open the top and put a straw in, and tries to like position it by your head, so if you're thirsty, you can get a little something to drink and hopefully some energy back. And then would just sit with you, knowing that you can't really have a conversation, but would sit with you and just wait until kind of it they get you guys get word that those that are in the ship are back.
The most embarrassing part of all of this is that I can't hide the single like tear that just like goes down the head. You know, like when you're laying on your bed and crying and it just like goes down.
Yeah, it's just straight down.
And I really want to, and like that sucks.
She wipes it away like almost
Oh,
absent-mindedly.
I think Kit just is like, just like, maybe if I pretend not to exist for the next 24 to 48 hours.
In the pressure pod, Clarke, you see Charlie work this multiple armed vehicle with a crazy amount of precision. It surprises you with just how determined he is in this moment, how focused he is in this moment. It's not a Charlie that you have seen, even in the short amount of time that you've even known him. But he is adept with the controls, flying it down, getting it in position. And well, let me actually make sure. Hmm. Oops, I forgot that. There we go. Yep. So he's able to use the smaller arms and basically um he had picked up the carrying sling basically in the ship, brought it down, put it next to Caden. Is able to carefully kind of maneuver the arms under Caden and then like shift him into the basket itself. Picks up the basket, all taking a decent amount of time just because of the instrument he is using, but is with ease able to do all of that, maneuver you back. Again, gently set him down in the dock. Sasha, after probably only closer to 45, 50 minutes, you already see them heading back. They get back to the dock. It opens, um, and the whole time you don't see any aliens around you. You don't see any movement in the colony. I assume, Clarke, your eyes are on a swivel of everything that's happening around you, similar to how the commander is.
Yeah.
And you see a desolate town as you would expect it to be. And you also see, as you're flying around and both leaving and arriving, the body of the alien still there, still in basically the state that you left it. Charred skin. The like area it's in seems to have like developed a crater from
Hmm.
whatever corrosive something is within this creature to have like eaten away, so it's actually like sunken into the ground a little bit almost. um but has it kind of continually and continually kind of has fizzled out and stopped, it seems, to a point. um but not in a place that you would want to go touch it by any means.
Oh,
um but seems to have stopped being as corrosive, and is still there,
okay.
and is again the only body you see besides Caden's in this town. But it's still there. It hasn't run away, and you don't see any other movement as you're watching Charlie's back in this moment. Um, Sasha, you're once again reminded of Caden's gruesome death as his body is pretty much dropped in front of you again. And in you know, several hours later state. Well, I guess really only close to 1 hour with how much time actually passed last session. um, um, but almost exactly like you found him, but now just bringing all those memories back as you see him once again. Um, and Charlie parks the pod, gets out, and again is in such like a determined fashion that he gets out of his suit. He finds a dolly basically to kind of put um, the basket with Caden onto and starts to wheel him away as he says, I'm going to get him cleaned up a little bit. Um, just before we do whatever we're going to do with him, I think that some sort of something would be nice. Words to say. I'm going to call it like a funeral, but I'm just going to take him to the showers to not have him be like this.
I think we should do a. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think we should do a quick scan of him just
Oh,
exposure um, before you are around him without protective.
no, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
An autopsy.
I want to let you do this, but just to keep everybody safe.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. We should do that first. Um, I'll just push him to the med bay then, I guess.
Is there multiple like pods? I know there's the med lab.
There's really just that area. Um, is the med lab and then the med pods. Um, so you re-enter the area. You see Nico still sitting next to Kit um as you guys walk in, and um gets a very similar reaction of seeing Caden's body again that I'm sure everyone does. And soon after, you are joined by at least the commander, Dr. Green, if you are also coming to check on things. The commander won't hover. She comes to understand what the next steps are and what you all want to do. Very clearly seeming like she is less of a commander and more of a I'm going to do what the crew members want to do, and I'm on board for whatever that means in your grief. So, isn't giving orders, is checking in, giving suggestions that might come across as orders, but very much in the she's taking a step back and letting you all do what you need to do in this moment.
Yeah, I think as we like file in, I'm gonna like try to take charge and maybe like if there's a curtain that I can draw between Kit and the corpse of Caden, like I would pull that like at least to just like get it out of direct line of sight. Still with like the suit on because it's also just like sealed at that point in time.
Sure.
Would like probably like begin like cutting off like his spacesuit and like having done like a scan of like for like radiation on the body and like looking for other like signs of like he was left down there for a minute like
Sure. Yeah.
So just doing like a check over him and like getting him out of his suit like without damaging him further too would be something I feel like as a like combat medic used to doing
Definitely.
and that way I can also like doing what feels like care but also like handing this off to Charlie to so that way he can do what he's seeking to do.
Sure. Yeah, easily enough, with your experience and knowledge, rather quickly, having likely a lot of experience with quick triage and all of that kind of stuff, um, with the help of the med pods, you scan, you don't see radiation, you don't see, again, it confirms there's no sign of life. You see, that there is we'll call it for the we all know alien. There's no foreign body in this person. um, and all of the kind of even general scans, X-rays, things like that can show that pretty well without taking up even too much time just by using the med pod.
I think the one thing that I would do, like as I like finally get him out, like of was he a Marine? Like no, or was he just
No.
like okay, cool?
I was gonna say
just
I
like
don't know if Sasha knows, but I
yeah,
think he talked to Clarke about it and
yeah,
does not have a Marine background.
cool.
No.
So he like doesn't have a dog tag. Is the only like um then like yeah, clearing that and like um getting him like out of his spacesuit would kind of gesture for whoever needs to do anything else. If that's just immediately Charlie taking over, like clean him up and
I would say maybe Dr. Green is present at, finds her way to
Sure.
where they are, and I guess also wants to run some blood samples similar to Kit to see if there's any abnormality. I know that he was just pierced, but just to see if anything changed. So I think she'll kindly and respectfully request to extract that, I guess,
Of course.
or ask if she doesn't know how. Ask Sasha too.
Yeah, I think some tissue samples are easy to get around the actual like wound itself, and then like a less than traditional blood sample is able to get or be obtained, whether it's just a quick swab or something like that. But you are able to get at least something that you can analyze what you're looking to analyze in the same regard that you were analyzing Kit's blood.
Cool.
So then Charlie takes basically once his suit is off, and you kind of give him the thumbs up. Charlie takes him off to um, the showers, so on a different level of the ship, but says that as he leaves, the commander puts a hand on his shoulder and says, um, I think the best way to transport him back is honestly in a cryopod to preserve him as best we can. I wish I didn't have that knowledge from experience, but I do. And once he is cleaned up, and once everyone has said what they need to say, we can either meet in Cryo 3 for what you requested, Charlie, of some time of grief and remembrance. And I think that might be the best option, is to have him lean into one of those and set up, and everyone can have whatever moment they need to. Charlie nods and continues to the showers, start cleaning him up. The commander gives everyone a nod and says, I'll be waiting in cryo. There is no rush for anyone to do anything today, but again, if you need anything, that's where I will be as we wait on Charlie and Caden. She nods to you all and also follows Charlie down on the same level as the showers, but to cryo. And it is
I think
you all
Dr.
I was gonna say it's you all and Nico left.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think Dr. Green then makes her way back up to the lab to run her tests.
Sure. So, with those tests, you don't seem to find any hint of non-human DNA or a substance or anything like that. So, pretty much the only conclusion you can draw from that is the tail as it was used on Caden was the same tail, but something changed for it to use it as a paralytic on Kit. But it wasn't the same in that moment, which does feel odd to you. You're muted.
You're muted, Meg.
My God, I was like, okay, backtracking just slightly.
Sure.
You said, where is Gaius being held?
The commander's suite.
Okay.
Which seemingly is
Does-
also where the other person.
Correct, which is where Lori is
Yeah.
as well.
Does Gaius have a quarters at all? Like,
He seemed to, yes. I labeled it as the middle
the
one.
Center, yeah, room.
So he had gone in there on kind of like the free time or to do this and that was where he went at night when he wasn't as social as some of the other crew members. But
Okay.
but he is not confined there. He is confined to the corporate or the command suite.
Okay. Noted.
Nico looks at Kit and asks, "Do you want us to move you to the cryo room? Assuming, Sasha, that's okay and she can be moved, but do you want to go down there for Caden's send off? Whatever we want to call it."
I've got a wheelchair we can
Okay.
load her into, but yeah, that's we've been doing this like blinking, but she did say words earlier. I'll let her blink for herself.
Yeah, she said some words. I mean, if you can say words, say words. Otherwise, blink twice for yes.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. I just been sitting here journaling like Kit, here just like writing my feelings. I think you would see like kind of a pained expression on Kit's face. And she's like trying to, you know, she's a yapper. She's be yapping. And I think the like instinct to yap is there, and there's like a frustration of not being able to yap. And you could tell that there's like internally a monologue going on that is trying to come out, and then in frustration there's like not anything close to the same scream she screamed earlier, but just like noises coming out that I will not do on stream. But at the end of it all, you just hear her grunt like as clearly as she can, "Stupid."
You think this thing for Caden is stupid?
Stupid. He's stupid.
You think Charlie's stupid?
And she
What?
kind of just mumbles like you hear the word stupid and kind of a little bit of as if she's saying get out. And that's really
okay.
And like flexing hands and as much like contortion as she can like muster. Agitated. She's agitated.
Are you?
This is tough.
I know.
I'm like, how much do I do and how much do I narrate?
Nico. Oh gosh, there's no one really that knows Kit better than Nico in this room right now.
I think she would like be like banging her hands too, like because she can flex a little bit. So I think as much as she could, she'd be like hitting her, like her hands. Like,
is it in a way that's like you want to like move and get up, or that you want that people to leave? Because I think that's where Mo is not interpreting correctly.
No, she is basically like she's basically, if she could, she'd be popping off about Charlie.
Okay.
She's clearly very angry that whatever happened, for JMO's sake, you would know that
Yeah.
she thinks it's stupid that he went back down there. It's stupid that he brought a body back that could be, you know, infected or like whatever with something. We already don't know what this thing is. Look what it did to me. What else could it do? I was the
Definitely.
one that had the most FaceTime with it and saw its little nasty mouth thing. So like there's so
Yep.
much that she can't communicate and it can't
Yeah.
come out, so it's just like kind of like toddler tantrum
Mhm.
like yeah. But that's
think-
the instance.
Yeah. So I think Nico interprets that as you don't want to go.
Yeah,
So-
I surely am in protest.
Great. So she, as you're thrashing about in the best way you can while still being paralyzed, she gives you a last squeeze. And says, "Okay. I don't think Kit's gonna be joining us.
Sure.
I'm gonna go help Charlie, and I'll see you guys in cryo.
Do it.
I'll tell him he's stupid." And she walks out of the med lab.
Okay. Glad you're able to talk more. After this whole ceremony, I'll be back to check on you. In case you do get the ability to move, here's some space Pedialyte.
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Open Pacific coolers.
Yeah. See you soon.
Kit would like bang a couple times if she could on the pod bed
Sure.
to get Sasha's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Was there something else?
She would like look at you with like wide eyes.
What's up?
Yeah. Be careful. Careful.
I would like breathe steam onto like the med pod class and just
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm blinking 5 times for God damn it!
Another single tear.
But it's out of frustration. My stress level goes up.
Oh no, we can't have that. Okay, so do the 3 of you head to Cryo 3?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
All right. After your experiments, does Charlotte head to Cryo 3 as well?
Yeah. She'll go to cry.
Okay. You don't have to. I mean, if you like hate Caden, that's fine. Whatever.
Caden was great. She wanted to pull his body with her from the get-go. So
That's true. You were trying. Yeah.
No, she's just concocting something.
Okay. So you all then get to Cryo 3. You see the commander sitting on one of the benches in this area. To remind everyone, you basically have the cryo chambers themselves in kind of a star pattern in the center of the room, and then on the edges you have a bench and some lockers for personal effects as you get into your tiny undies. In preparation for cryo, and you can put personal effects and things that you don't want in the cryo bed itself into those lockers. So she's sitting on one of those benches, kind of head in her hands, leaning forward. Again, not a posture that you've seen her ever do. She's always been perfect postures, standing, hands behind her back kind of person. So clearly taking this a little hard. And you're not there long when you hear the sound of the dolly across the floor as Nico and Charlie are wheeling Caden into the Cryo 3 chamber and carefully lift him onto one of the beds. You can see that they've done exactly what they said they would. They've cleaned the blood and dirt and whatever that was on him from being out there off. They've found a fresh shirt and actually put that on him. And so you can't currently see any of the gash that is on his torso. And they lift him up and put him in the pod. As they enter, the commander stands up and goes to the pod computer that basically kind of activates each pod and starts setting up that pod as she knows how to do to preserve a dead body for a trip home. As she does that, hits enter, you hear the familiar hiss of a cryobed being activated. It closes up. You see what looks like fog, dry ice kind of effect in there to fog up and seal the chamber itself with just kind of a very faint outline of his body and face that can still be seen as the commander takes a step back and kind of clasps her hands and waits. And Charlie steps forward and says, "Well, I know I was the one that that requested this, so I'll get it started, I guess." And kind of looks around and seems to realize that Kit is not here. Um, and kind of looks for someone for like a very clear, am I waiting? Is she okay? What do we do? um, Sasha
Stupid!
gives. You hear the echo of stupid through the hallways. um, gives a nod to Sasha and continues. Um, I know a lot of us didn't know Caden that long, so I don't know how much we really have to say compared to what others might, but I did spend a decent amount of time with Caden, and I know a lot of people thought he was green or too innocent for some things, but that's that's the way he just chose to live life. He'd really been through some shit, and still acted like that. Acted happy, was happy to just exist and to experience life. And really sucks that that stopped for him. And I'm gonna miss him. And you don't all have to say something. I just figured that something should be done. And if that's all that's said, then can send him off and do whatever we need to do. But he takes a couple steps back, wipes a tear, and
Charlie,
gets out of the
thanks.
spotlight.
Thank you for asking for this. Not I don't have a whole lot to say about Caden. I didn't really know him. But to be quite frank, it was him or it was somebody else on the team. And We didn't even see this thing coming. The rest of us who are here are all just lucky that it wasn't one of us. And I'm glad that Kit's made it back. And I think she's going to make a full recovery. In no small way is that thanks to Caden and his sacrifice down there. I kind of like look towards where like I know the cameras are. Not that we should have been down there in the first place. Not knowing what we were facing. But thank you, Shirley, for bringing some humanity to this uninhabited planet.
Nods. Looks around. Not expecting anything, but waiting if anyone else so chooses to say something. And he goes doing the classic look at her feet and shuffling.
Clarke kind of steps forward. He was a good kid, and he didn't deserve to die like that. Let's get him home safe, okay? And kind of just steps back.
Commander steps forward and says, I chose this crew with some of the highest standards I've ever chosen of a crew. The loss of any life is terrible, but know that you all are some of the best of the best. And a loss like that is significant. I don't know what I can ever say to make up for this. And I don't think I have much that will help any of you in this moment. But I know all of you want to leave as soon as possible. And I am on your side in that regard. My concern that I look to Dr. Green and Sasha for is if Kit is safe to travel. I don't know. I have not put a paralyzed person into cryo, let alone a paralyzed person with some unknown alien causing it into cryo. If you both think it is safe, I will support that decision. Otherwise, we will stay just outside of the planet's atmosphere until it clears her system and she is deemed safe to travel again.
I'll defer to Sasha on this one.
Without knowing that it's actually true or not, Sasha is like, yeah, well, I think like those are valid concerns, Commander, but I do think that it will be absolutely safe for us to leave as soon as possible.
Okay. Very well. Then I would say make what preparations are needed and be ready to depart within the next 2 hours to allow for ample time to do what you need to do and say what you need to say. Again, to myself, Gaius is not available to you all as of now. But I will answer what questions I can answer, with knowing I do not have all the information. I'll be making my preparations on the bridge. Everyone, please make your preparations as needed. And she'll put a hand on the closed cryo chamber where Caden is, and then exit the cryo and head to the bridge. Charlie, go ahead.
No, I'll hold for just a second until she's about to get into the cryo sleep. Like right before.
Okay. Charlie looks at Sasha and Clarke and says, thank you guys for your words. They were nice. And I'm sure Caden would have appreciated it. I'm gonna go to the med lab if I could just have a moment with my sister. That'd be good.
Totally, yeah. She did have a message for you.
She can talk?
A little bit, here and there. And
Okay.
In her very limited ability to do so, she did manage the strength to, say, you're stupid.
He does chuckle a little bit at that. Says, yeah, it's, can't say I disagree, but can't say I wouldn't do it again. So, I'm gonna go talk to her.
Hey, I know that your friends give you a lot of shit. And it's easy to fall in line with that. But I gotta say, I think you're pretty brave, which doesn't nullify the stupid when it comes to standing up with for children. Not happy that we stayed here any longer, but I'm glad you guys got back. And honestly, I commend determination.
Thank you. If you want to pass that along to Kit, I wouldn't be upset if you told her that too, I mean, you don't have to. It was just, maybe she'll think I'm a little less stupid.
Shared her message to you. Also share that message to her.
Cool, thanks, yeah. Okay, I'll do that and then do my other stuff, so just like 10 minutes, and he'll kind of scurry out with a last look at Caden as well, as he exits the room. And as various people have various things to do before you get into cryo, and maybe some various conversations to also have, we're gonna take a little bio break before we get to all of that. So especially Angie, stand up, stretch, get the movement out, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Yeah, we are.
So we're gonna pick up with any last things people want to do before going into cryo. This will at least include Charlie coming to talk to Kit.
Yeah.
But before that, I'll let anybody else chime in. I know, Meg, you said Charlotte was maybe going to do like a last minute thing. So if you want to save that for the end, I'm down for that. Anyone else have anything else?
I mean, I've had a million ideas brewing, so I shouldn't even say I have something.
Okay, sure.
I just don't know what I can and can't do, so I have like 1,000 things running through my head. Anyway, sure. Okay. Question: are we in our tiny undies right now? Like,
not yet. You're still in probably the gross sweaty clothes that you wore under your spacesuit, because it's been like the battle, you got onto the ship, you went back for Caden. Well, Hawk pulled a gun. That whole thing happened. You went back for Caden. You had Caden's funeral, and here you are. Like, there's not really been a lot of rest of like, or probably mental capacity to think about, oh, I should change clothes. But that is one of the things that you would likely do in this time of prep for cryo is tiny undy time.
Okay. It's like there's cameras everywhere, so I don't even know. Okay. Would there be something in the science lab that would be some kind of like heat not generator, heat detector of like fingerprints on a keypad per se? Like, would there be something in the science lab that would pick up that kind of what I'm putting down? You know what I mean?
I think Charlotte is a smart enough person to know, you might not have seen a lot of movies like Hawk has, but you know that like the way fingerprints are picked up are by some very fine dust like something that is dusted onto a place that is you are looking for those fingerprints on.
Yeah.
And I would say you have those materials probably in some capacity readily available to you, but you were also smart enough to know that this case had traveled from the bunker and back in an open ATV and likely got a lot of dust and stuff on it. And you yourself have poked around on this monitor that has the touch screen that has a code that you have to put on. So you can try it, but it's going to be difficult to discern.
I'm more so
Cadence.
thinking a like keypad outside of somebody's quarters.
Oh,
Like something
okay.
quick that I would be able, you know how like you can just like the hackers will try to see what buttons you pushed on your, you know, like what's the last 4 buttons pushed on this keypad
I think,
per
yeah,
heat
so
detector?
if you're thinking of a keypad on a
Science.
ship, again, if it is to one that is not frequently used, that likely only has one keypad 2 or a key code 2 easily enough, you should be able to do that. And I can't remember what like movie it is. But there's a movie where someone like uses basically like setting powder of makeup on like a sticky something and goes boop and gets like a fingerprint. So I think you
Yeah.
can basically use something similar of you set up some sort of film of some kind that you can just like put on something and then you see the fingerprints on in like a pattern kind of thing. Um so depending on the keypad, there is a different level of difficulty that this will be, and I am going to make you roll for this one.
Heard. Yeah, I guess she knows people know she knows the commander knows she's snooping, so whatever, she's gonna say fuck it.
Okay.
She's so unhinged. So I think I would like to try before going into cryo sleep to somehow determine what the digits are. Obviously I wouldn't know the order, but what the digits are to get into the commander's quarters. To have on hand if needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say in a drive-by kind of situation, what roll am I gonna make you take for this one? I feel like this might not be perfect for it, but give me a com tech roll. It's under wits.
Okay. It's green and there's
Okay.
one yellow. Is that important? Or there's
That
one
means
cross?
there's one cross. If you still have yellow dice, that means you didn't reduce your stress to 0, which it should have been
Oh, should
as
it
you
be at
used.
0?
Yeah, because you had like about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of rest while you were just kind of watching those outside. So you likely could take off those last couple points.
All right. All right, green again, 1 cross.
Okay. So just 1 cross means a success. So you're able to do a little drive by, pat a little, piece of something onto the keypad, digital keypad that's next to it, get some fingerprints of a sequence of some kind, and kind of run away without any detection as people are going about their various duties on the ship anyway. And we'll say you got the 4 numbers of
Oh my god.
9, 6, 2, and 1.
Amazing. She's gonna write those numbers down, put them in her locker, and then head back to cryo.
Okay. You're ready for cryo. Clarke, what are you doing?
I don't think there's anything Clarke really needs to do. I think Clarke is pretty ready to just go to cryo.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Love it. And you kind of do your last little checks of feels weird to get back into the regularly scheduled programming of what your
Yeah.
job is actually on the ship compared to what the rest of the day has been. But you inventory the armory, make sure those things get back. Might have to track down a couple of those things of just if Sasha keeps that rifle out of the armory, it's going to come back to you as the one that should have put it back, kind of thing. So you kind of go through those motions of just making sure all of the weapons are where they should be, everything is secure, and then you head to the cryo.
Yeah.
Sasha.
Yeah, I think that Sasha would let Charlie have his space to visit with Kit for a mo, and then take some time, go back to her HAB unit, and try to message Hawk again and just give him an update on the current status of things and Kit especially, and then would message that Gaius is also being locked down presumably. Hope you're well. Also just be you fucking scared us back there. Next time you're gonna make any bold steps, maybe clue us in. Whether I talk you out of it or I'm helping you, it would be nice to know ahead of time.
Yeah. Once again, don't get a response. You can probably assume that he was not left with his iPad to do whatever he so chose during confinement.
God, be so boring. What am I gonna do without my iPad?
Oh my god, he's such an iPad baby.
Yeah, and I think then would do a last check on Kit and maybe go check on Dr. Green too before going to cryo themselves.
Sure, we can go to that moment of, at whatever point it might be, you both find yourselves in the science lab. Again, Dr. Green, you're probably there doing what you know to be your rules of putting everything back where they need to be, securing the more sensitive equipment, things like that, of prepping the lab for travel, and going through kind of the motions of that as Sasha walks in.
Hello, Dr. Green.
Hello, Sasha.
Wanted to come by and see how you're doing. I know that it's been a stressful day, and you've been spending a good amount of it in here with that.
honestly, I've just been trying to figure out if we should open it, and if we should, you know what I mean? If we should, like, is it a good idea? If we even can.
Here's a thought. You know, you worked for Wayu for a while. You worked in like this, was it symbiotic life forms department?
Symbiotic relationships, I think.
Yeah.
I love every time Meg is asked the science question.
I'm like, I have to pull it out.
What was it?
No, it's you're
yes,
old.
the symbiotic relationships.
You're old.
That makes maybe yeah, sure. You retired. I just maybe whatever's in there should stay in there.
Right, but don't you think it could give us some answers as to what it is
I think
that maybe attacked us?
Whatever answers can be found in there, for me, they can stay in there. If I'm being quite honest.
Interesting.
I totally understand your curiosity. You're the scientist. That's why you're here. For me, this is a job. And it's a job that somebody died on. And that is not a job that I want to stay a part of for any longer than possible. And if we open that, I know we're not working for Wayu, but whoever sent us out here for that wants it intact. And if we start poking at something that we don't understand, I think we at best lose our paycheck. And when we get to wherever we're going, if you want to keep poking at that, that's totally up to you. Today, for me, let's just go take a nap.
I am quite willing to take a nap. It has been quite a long day, and I want nothing more than to sleep, but there's something very unsettling about going to sleep and not knowing what is going on around me when I don't know what's in here. Because sure, we're going to sleep, but is everybody? And I've always felt like it's my almost duty in a way to study these types of species, especially the ones unknown, because when they're in the hands of the wrong people, they can be used in terrible ways. I fear that wherever we're going, whatever is in here is going to be used in a terrible way, based off of what just happened down on the ground to us. Obviously, it can't be that thing, because how could that thing fit in here? But they have to be related somehow. And again, I don't like the idea of going to bed and going to sleep knowing there could still be something dangerous waiting us and everyone wherever we're going. That's my fear, Sasha. That's my fear.
Well, now that's my fear, too.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I don't
Oh.
mean to instill the fear. It's just I've seen species retaliate in ways that you can't imagine. Even the smallest specimen can do wonders of damage. So maybe I am convincing myself to keep the box closed myself as I say this out loud. I don't even think I could get it open if I tried.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe it
Look,
is.
I know there's parts of me that are curious, and there's parts of me that are afraid to not know what's going on here. But I'm also just... I'm ready to be home. And I think us poking too hard at this just complicates that.
Right. Well, I think they're expecting us in cryo, and I don't think there's any time to try to figure out how to open this box anyway, so what say we go to sleep and hope that whatever is awaiting us when we wake up is something that we can find comfort in and figure out from there.
It's the same thing I'm hoping for. Gotta go check on Kit. Make sure they get to cryo okay.
Right.
Thanks, Dr. Crane.
Thank you, Doctor. I think she will also start to kind of look like she's packing up her belongings to leave as she finishes up, but she'll swipe some of that good stuff to go make her way to the keypad on the way out, kind of a thing, you know?
Sure, definitely. Okay. Before we get to Sasha and Kit, we have Sasha. Or yes, God, why am I struggling with names? Before we get to Sasha and Kit, we have Charlie and Kit.
Yes.
After the little remembrance, Charlie heads directly to you, Kit. Has the door closed behind him, and comes and sits next to you. Um, is quiet for a moment, kind of fidgeting with his fingers, as he frequently does when he is nervous or unsure. But eventually looks to you and says, "I heard you were talking again. Um, that's good. That seems like progress."
I don't think it talks.
Yeah, that's fair. I know what you think I did was stupid, and I also think it was stupid to a degree, but you know it's been hard for me to make friends ever since the accident, and I don't know, Caden was one of the first people outside of like you and Hawk that I feel like I connected with and could talk to. He was really nice and cool, and I don't know. I guess I didn't want to just let fear leave him alone on that planet if there were more of those things out there. I don't know, eat him or something. I don't know what they would have done, but I'm sorry that meant that I also kind of like left you really quick and abandoned you a little bit, but I know I knew that you would pull through on this. just a little sting by some weird alien isn't gonna take someone like you down. Well, guess I should let Sasha know that you've regressed and you can't talk anymore. Um, shut up. Shut up. Yeah. I think that's like the first time you've told me that. I don't usually get to talk this much. I think that's why maybe I'm rambling a little bit. But I love you, Kit. And you're the best sister I could ask for.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you have really anything to apologize for.
Sorry. All of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hawk's gonna be okay, right? I can't, like, actually put him in jail for this or something.
And I think Kit gets like frustrated that she can't like hot goss with brother.
Yeah.
So she just like a little bit of the same kind of like grunting and like a little bit as much like thrashing, clearly like frustrated as she tries to communicate.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hard this is for you to not be actually able to talk. But
Shut up.
I know Sasha's gonna probably be here soon to tell you, but we're gonna put you into cryo so we can get out of here. But I also think since you can talk, if that's scary, you should say something. I mean, I'm confident with what Sasha thinks, but
Why? All of us.
why all of us?
All of us in cryo.
I mean, it wouldn't be a fun trip home at that speed, out of cryo.
Like this.
I don't know if we know how long you're gonna be like this, and
Fuck. Totally regular, totally normal.
Yep. There she is. I mean, I think that's just a question for Sasha. She's the one that, like, did all the medic stuff and scans and whatever.
Does anything seem like I think the answer to this is no, but is there anything that feels like I'm not getting better, or has anything in this past like hour that they've been doing this thing, has anything loosened, has anything shifted in terms of my condition? Does anything feel like it's accelerating or anything?
I think you can. I think you're aware of your body enough to feel the slowest of progression. But, like, if you think of it's been, 1 or 2 hours out of the 36 to get fully better, you're at, like, a very small percentage of better, but you're still at that. So I think you would have, like, a little bit more maybe like control of a finger or two,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So I think you can tell it's getting better, but you also know it's getting very better very slowly.
Okay, but nothing's like different or like in a bad way. Like nothing's progressing, nothing is like hurting. It does not feel like anything that Angie is asking is growing inside of me or like anything feels weird.
As of now, it does not feel like anything extra is happening
Okay.
besides like the pins and needle feeling of getting some movement back, and as that happens, there's some uncomfortability with that.
Itchy. Ouchie. Ew, could you imagine laying down with your entire body starting to feel like it's waking up from like falling asleep and you just have to lay there and take it? I'm upset. I'm fucked up. Okay.
Cryo's gonna be super fun for you then.
I don't want to do that. Okay, well, send Sasha in, I guess.
And on that note, Sasha, you enter. You still see Charlie there, but he kind of waves you in, um, and says, "Yeah, you actually kind of just in time. We were just talking about cryo, and I couldn't, say the things that you know of the reassuring medical stuff. So, I'm gonna, I gotta go prep and do, the mechanics work." Like I, have to do anyway. And he like kind of half punches you on the shoulder. Gotta do all the work too.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's me. Okay, I'll be back after my stuff is done to help. How and what help? Okay. And he walks out.
Yikes.
Okay. So we're supposed to be entering cryo soon.
No. No. No.
Take your time. You don't want to go into cryo?
Wait. Wait for me. I like.
I mean, we can put you in cryo now. I think that.
No, not like this. Not like
Yeah,
this.
it might keep you that way after
No.
we wake up for. No, I mean not forever. Just like it would stop the body's processing the poison out maybe.
No.
But I could give you the EpiPen, the adrenaline, but
Yeah.
then falling asleep's gonna be weird. Let me tell
Oh.
you. Have you ever done uppers and downers back to back? Ugh.
Crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, it feels crazy.
You're crazy.
But I know like things have settled down here a little bit. Your chart looks good. I could give it to you. You get out of this a little bit faster, at least. But
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
prep, adrenaline. You sure?
Yeah.
It's gonna feel a little wild, I think, since you might not be able to move right away. But
Okay. Fuck
I d-
it up.
we probably already have an IV like tapped for fluids and stuff like that. And
Sure,
so I
yeah.
do the like syringe injection into the like feed line of the IV.
Angie, Kit's stress goes up by 1 level because you're taking an adrenaline.
And was I had kept 1 level just because of my condition
Sure.
being stressful. Would I have started all the way over, or are you cool with me keeping 1 stress and then just
I think keeping
being
1
at 2?
stress is great. again, I
Okay.
leave most of the stress up to you all of
Yeah.
kind of making that character choice because
I think
that's
Kit does
a
not
strong one.
like what's happening to her body and would be stressed regardless of how much she's like sitting
Yeah,
still.
there's gonna be like a baseline stress there no matter
yeah.
what.
So
Yeah.
I'm at 2 stress, just so you know.
Okay. Noted. Um, but as you feel that adrenaline start to disperse throughout your bloodstream,
Woo!
again, it's not like an instant you're ready to like walk out the room, but
Yeah.
you can feel your heart start to race a little bit. Like you can feel like your blood pumping, and you get like an immediate extra sense of tingling that does kind of mellow out.
Ow! Oh.
um, and then as you wait, we'll say at eventually you'll have like another hour or so before like it's time to be in cryo kind of thing. Um,
Yikes.
and that hour you can tell that there is some level of getting better that is working more quickly than it was the hour before that.
Oof. Sorry. I know that was
Oh,
a bit
shit.
harsh. Whoa! Hey, look at you.
Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Take it easy.
Ugh. Thanks.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a minute, I think, before you're
Yeah.
back to 100%. But
Better already.
glad for that. I've been trying to message Hawk about how things are going. I don't think he's getting my texts.
Probably not. They has no comms.
I know we.
Grounded.
Yeah, I know.
He's
We're
grounded.
talking about some plans for solidarity, support each other no matter what happens. That I'm still on board, but I think with you still coming back to us and Hawk on lockdown, I think the best thing is for us to just take a long nap and see where we're at when we wake up.
Okay. And I think, with as much hand movement as she can muster, she like beckons Sasha closer,
Lean in.
and she says, "Let me be tough." And I'll like reach for the collar of your shirt, and I'll like pull you closer.
What? Hey,
Can I trust you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we can.
And I'd let go, like, with what would be like in my full body, like I would like push away and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, like I just did a cool stuff thing, but like just kind of lets go and then like like jerks forward and like kind of hits you in the chest a little bit. Oh, thanks. Sorry. Thanks.
Before you push her away, Nico walks in.
Oh boy.
No!
And goes, oh, sorry, and leaves.
No, no.
I don't know what you want to do about that.
I know.
Should I go get her?
No. Oh no. No. What? No.
I mean, like, only because, like, you can't move and, like, I don't want to, like, whatever you...
DTR, what are we?
No, we're not.
We don't have...
We're not.
Like, no.
I
like,
was just.
I mean, like...
I just was being. I was tough.
You were tough.
I was tough.
But also, like, I don't know what she thinks just happened.
I
and
don't know.
think that's
I
it's
don't
not
want
fair to you because
her
you're
to
like
think anything just happened. I
right
don't
because
want
nothing did happen.
and nothing with
You
her
were just
either.
tough.
I'm tough.
You hear a knock this
geez.
time on
Is it
the
her?
lab door. You see the back of Nico's head as she's.
Wait, hey,
no, it hurts. Like I like turn your.
Ow! It's like when you have a pulled shoulder and you have to like take your whole body.
Who's there? Hello?
Nico.
Hey, you can come in.
Opens the door.
Seriously.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I needed
No,
to tell
it's
at least someone
nothing. I was
before.
tough. I'm tough.
Okay, what?
You're tough.
Can I trust her? Can I trust you?
I hope so, because I'm about to trust you guys.
Oh.
I put in the coordinates for where we're going, since we're about to leave. The commander told me. I mean, so at this point, it seems protocol's kind of out the window, but I still don't want to go shouting to, like, everyone. But if people are already in cryo, and that's where other people are, I also don't want to assume I can tell everyone. But I didn't get a name of a location, but it's, like, right outside of Earth. But in all the maps that I know of, there's nothing there. So, we're almost going to Earth.
Is it a station?
Maybe?
My dad said there's stations around. Maybe a drop-off point?
Seems like it. But I mean, at least it's close to Earth, so it's not like we're going to a whole different sector.
Seems like no. Maybe this is good. I thought when people were talking about us going not to Earth, I was like thinking something way far away, but this might be. Maybe we are just headed home after this.
One can hope. But I again had to tell someone, and you guys were the first ones I saw. But I'll get to it, and I'll see you in cryo.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear, like right now, level, I'm a medical professional. I would.
Yeah, I'm not assuming anything.
Totally. I don't know what you're assuming, but
Nothing,
I just want to be clear.
No assumptions. Nope.
Sure.
Oh.
None. Yeah.
Okay.
I keep my shit tight. That's all I'm saying. Like.
Okay.
When I'm on the job, I'm on the job. Like that's it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Totally. Well, I hope everything is settled.
Watch this. And I curl my hands into it. like fists. Yeah.
They're also riding a crazy state of high right now, so.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they could not do that earlier.
Yeah. They're tough.
So they said, I'll leave it to the medic stuff, and I'll see you in the cryo spot.
Damn, I guess it's my turn to like sweat. Like.
Okay, bye. She leaves?
She does.
I didn't even know I didn't want her to leave.
Oh.
Until this very moment.
Oh. Could have stopped her, but you let her walk away.
Sometimes the long game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was not how I would have planned for that. whole conversation to go, but it is good information to have. Whatever you're feeling or processing right now, totally valid. I have to get us to our cryopods now, so I'm gonna go get a wheelchair. I'll be right back. Cool.
The door opens and Charlie walks in.
Oh, dang it.
And says, I just passed Nico. She's kind of like walking really quickly away, but she said that she told you something that you could tell me, but she needed to go and do something else, so she couldn't stay. But she said, I don't know, she seemed really frazzled. But she doesn't seem one to frazzle easily, so that was kind of weird.
Can we get... And, okay, JMO, I would know this because of my character, but I, Angie, don't have the exact logistics on this. I'm developing a plan.
Okay.
How many people can fit in that detachable pod?
In the one that he used?
Yeah.
I think it was 2, like in the front area, and then 4 in like a passenger carrier kind of
So
smaller.
6 total.
6 total.
And that's only like seating, that's not like
yeah, that's like has a seat 4.
Okay, so then like in theory more could fit, just they would not have a like an actual seat. We would have
yes,
to
it would not be
out.
safe for them to fit.
Okay.
But they could.
How unsafe? Like death?
Depends on how you drive that spaceship thing.
Okay.
If you're just like,
and that's something that I could do, like that, like we all, I mean, Charlie obviously did it, but like it is possible to be driven in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be driven anywhere. It's just mainly meant for like deep space and stuff like that. But it can go anywhere.
Sick. That's all I needed to know. So Charlie comes in. Sup?
Yeah. Wow, you're making like almost sentences now. That's new. You didn't do that. Like, where was that? Like 10 minutes ago when I was here. Well, probably like 20, but
Sasha helped.
Great. Is she? Are they good for?
Yeah, gave her a little bump. I think we're going to be good for cryo.
Okay.
And yeah, do you want to tell him?
Oh fuck.
Oh right, the thing.
It's gonna take too long.
Can we tell him? I guess is my
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nico said to tell me.
Yeah. Well.
Nico says a lot of things.
Do we not trust her?
We trust her. She doesn't trust me.
Anyway,
the look off the
short answer is we're going to near Earth.
Okay.
So, good news.
We don't know where?
Well, it's probably a station near Earth. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the news.
I guess, okay. Yeah, I guess that could have been worse.
Would I know of any actual specific station? Like, I didn't get the actual coordinates, but anything popping up near Earth that I would have known from Dad times or, like, prior?
Maybe? Well, Sasha
I don't
might.
think... Sasha! Okay, well, if you're not giving it away,
Clarke
I'm
might.
not gonna...
That's, yeah, I was like, before we go to bed, I need you to go talk to Clarke.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say with as little information as you have of just somewhere around and close to Earth, there's a potential for a secret something that doesn't trigger anything for you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Charlie helps you get Kit into the wheelchair.
Yep.
Wee.
And start wheeling towards cryo.
Yeah.
As a reminder, our cryo buddies were Charlie and Kit and Clarke and Caden. So only 3 out of the 4 now in cryo 1.
So we're in there with the dead body?
It's like Caden's still there.
No, Caden's in 3. He got moved to 3, which is where the commander and Gaius went.
Okay.
Both pilots, scientist, and medic were in 2. So as you all arrive, you also notice at some point the commander show up with Hawk. In a very quick manner, she kind of brings him in, not necessarily handcuffed or anything like that, but very much like a, please just get in the cryo.
How does he seem?
And he seems okay. I mean, he seems quite regretful, if I can speak for Zach in this moment. He doesn't seem like physically anything has happened to him besides this like stress that he has clearly had happen over the last couple hours. And you kind of get a glimpse of him as he walks into cryo 2 and does as he's told and gets into his tiny underwear and into the pod and is kind of pretty much immediately put in, and then the commander leaves and soon after that returns with Gaius and Lori and goes into the cryo 3 area. As you all arrive at the cryo, there likely would be a moment, Sasha, that you could pull Clarke to the side.
Yeah.
A short moment, but now that everybody is pretty much here, it's kind of everybody get in and get settled.
Awkward to be doing this in our tiny underwear, but Nico told me where we're going.
Where are we going?
And this is me in this moment forgetting the name of the station.
Is it third base?
It is.
Yeah,
it
is. Okay.
We're
going
giving
to
our
third
tiny
base?
underwear. We're going to third base.
I was like, tiny underwear. We're going to
Hell
third
yeah.
base.
That's
Let's
under
go.
the pants stuff.
It's the third base, I think. It makes sense, but going back to Earth, but not wanting to bring whatever we're bringing back there. This seems like that's the quarantine spot. I know that it's been a while since we've been around anybody there, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew.
Thank you. I don't know what's going on up there right now, but
This is like the skunk works. That's where they keep the stuff they don't want anybody else knowing about.
so does that mean this is a military mission? Would it? Who else has access to that?
Make a history check, Jim.
Yeah, like what?
I would say, third base is a military specific, very secretive base, in both its location and the knowledge of it. It wouldn't be unheard of for other entities or organizations or governments to know of it or somehow get permission to come visit. if for whatever secret thing that they're holding there has to do with them. But for the most part, it is ran by the Marines. So whatever happens there is under their purview.
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't they send the Marines in the first place if this was a military operation?
I don't know.
You know, like half of us are military washouts to begin with. So
So why would they send us?
that's my question. Let's
Hmm.
let's be smart when we wake up. I think we got lucky so far.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep it that way. I've got your back.
And I've got yours.
No kiss. uh, apologies, I'm probably going to say that every time.
Yeah.
We don't mean it.
Or do we? We don't mean it. So all of you settle in for cryo. I will say there is likely a point that Dr. Green, as you guys are getting into your tiny underwear, since you and Nico are in the same room, that she passes along the information to you as well. Without any military based knowledge, she just says, "We're going near Earth. It looks like there's nothing there to go to, but the coordinates at least lead to somewhere near and outside of Earth." So you have that information. Everybody settles in for your cryo sleep. You feel the sensation of falling asleep into the very, very deep sleep that is cryo, and the temporarily rush of cold as the chamber around you also cools at the same time. And all of you have a nightmare while in cryo.
Oh.
Your subconscious relives the last 24 hours that you just went through in a variety of ways, depending on the worst moments that your character perceived. Whether it's just replaying Caden's death over and over again, or running and you can't get far enough away, or you're running to someone and you can't get close enough, but you're in Hadley's Hope. You know the alien is around you. You maybe see the alien around you, and you panic, you're stressed, and you suddenly gasp and wake up, which you know does not happen waking up from cryo. You each wake up in a room. There's a bed, a dresser, a little side table with a lamp, a desk. It looks pretty simple, nothing fancy. The two of you with military background get the sense of this seems like quarters at some sort of military base. That familiarity immediately washes over you. As you all continue to look around the room, you see a note that's left on the desk for you that says, "You are asked to remain separated in your individual rooms until each crew member is properly debriefed. Someone will be by within the next couple hours to do just that. Transport home has been coordinated for each of you for tomorrow." And just as the note says, over the next hour or so at varying intervals, the same woman enters each of your room and asks you to go over the mission in as much detail as you can and to provide as much answers as you can. The last person this woman goes to visit is Clarke. And Clarke, as this woman enters your room, you immediately recognize her as your ex-partner. And you know for sure that you have to be on third base at this moment. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Wait, partner, like business partner or
Business partner.
Business
No.
partner.
Business
Oh.
They ran
partner.
a food truck together.
Third base partner.
Third base partner.
All right, queer love ultimatum.
Whew.
Okay.
Basically. Fuck.
All right.
Wow. Well,
So fun.
What the
Pick it up
heck?
there.
Well,
Our
having
finale
a great time.
episode.
third base.
We'll see how Cryo fared with those that may still have alien toxin in their bloodstreams. We'll see how Clarke deals with the next coming up suddenly to ask a bunch of
Sure.
questions of what mission they were just on. But until then, thank you guys. This was a blast. We missed you, Zach. Excited to have the whole crew back next week. And as always, everybody say bye.
Okay, bye. Tiny undies.